well this evening. Thanks for coming. Let's see. I guess our first order of business on our committee reports is a discussion of the resolutions on the agenda. The first one being the declaring city property as a surplus.
That's the lawnmowers?
Yes, 2 Kubota KD 323 mowers. According to our Public Works Director, did everybody receive that email from him and his opinion of them? And then Nathan has brought us.
Right, I did a kind of full report at Mary Anderson's request. The one on the front is not, that's just showing what it will be. It's in really good condition used. The second, the third page, the second and third page are about what condition, what we've got's in. The second page will show one that's currently listed on govdeals.com. Which is government liquidation. That shows you where it is currently as far as the bid price, and it has 16 days left. And then the other one, the third page, is a comparable model in similar condition that sold at an auction house up in there in Gadsden, Rainbow City area, local auction house. So.
Okay, well, that picture does not look anything like the picture of what we have. And according to our Public Works Director, he says that they hardly have any engine power when using, need new bearings on front wheels along with bearings in all the deck pulleys, new tires, fuel filters, and blades.
Right. Yes, they're in rough condition.
And so if not listed as surplus, to get them out of our way, what is your suggestion?
Oh, no, I think we definitely need, I agree 100% with Public Works. They're sitting in the way. We've got better equipment. They're diesel mowers, which are generally good. However, our guys are more comfortable with making repairs to gasoline engines.
Okay.
So it's something that's sitting there. I think we definitely need to, we definitely need to get out of the guys' ways. We definitely have better equipment there that we're using. I don't think they're going to be used. I think we need to go ahead and surplus them out, but I think they do have a decent amount of value there. I think they're going to be, like I said, they're not in good condition. I think they're going to be a couple $1,000s value each, is my opinion of it, looking at it.
Okay, and so is your opinion that you would give them to Trafford, or that you would take them to auction?
In going through the entire research that you asked me to do, I actually called Trafford Public Works Department. Trafford has 2 mowers right now. They said that that one of them immediately cranks up, no problems, working perfectly. They said the other mowers, sometimes they have to use starter fluid to get that to crank, but it does crank, but they only have one person out there cutting the grass. Talking to Public Works at Trafford, I was told that what they really need is a chainsaw, and I've checked with our Public Works Department. We do not have an extra chainsaw to surplus out. So I think at this point it's probably better to put them on GovDeals, put them to a local auction company, and liquidate them that way. I think they're in the way. I think we're never going to use them again. I think they make great surplus, but I don't think giving them to the city that's already got more equipment than they need is the right course of action.
You could put them on the gov auction and see what happens.
Right.
I mean, you can always reject any bid. It's not like you have to take it if it's bid.
Is there a fee for that? Do anybody know?
I don't know on GovDeals. I've never sold anything on GovDeals. If you do to a local company,
Dr. Rush says no.
there's no,
It's not.
okay, good deal. Thank you, Dr.
Oh,
Rush.
there we go then.
And would they pick them up there, or are my people responsible for toting them somewhere?
No, absolutely not. They come pick them
gotta
up
come
from
pay
us.
them.
They gotta come get them. We'll let them load them,
Is where is.
it's where it sits.
Okay. Before we move on, we're gonna get some good news from Hunter.
We reached out to, this is not necessarily good news to start off, but we reached out.
But she set you up.
Who is Hunter?
I'm the building inspector.
Okay.
We reached out to the Department of Roads and didn't get an update about opening up on Old Springville Road, but the date is still December 19th, as far as we know. And today, the people rebuilding Dollar General on Deerfoot got their permits, and they hope to open up by spring, early summer.
And Hunter, you may not know, because you may not have been out there this afternoon, but they're dropping blacktop right now.
Yeah.
This evening on Old Springville.
I told the mayor that it's possible it could be the 19th, so
Yeah.
we'll cross our fingers. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Hunter.
Good job, Hunter.
Okay, we'll go back to our, down that order. Okay, so, Resolution 2564 is repealing the resolution 21234 regarding the city manager position. Does anyone have any questions, comments?
One last clarification for the attorney. You said it's considered that we no longer have a city manager. He's out, and this would be valid if we decide to remove the city manager's position as a whole and change it to something else.
Yeah, again, the term of the city manager ends with the council that appoints the city manager.
Okay.
So, if you repeal that ordinance and then decide to go with some other position, administrator or some other position, then I think that's kind of what is needed at this point, somebody to kind of help with the day-to-day.
Thank you.
Based on our employee handbook, if we remove this position, this is another question for Rick here, if we remove this position, are we gonna have to rewrite the employee handbook?
The answer is I don't know, because I've not looked at the handbook in great detail with that question in mind. It was my general understanding that there were revisions that needed to be made in any event.
Correct.
But
It's dated 2012.
okay. But I don't have, without looking with that in mind, I don't have a specific answer to your question, Counselor. I'm happy to do that.
Okay, which leads us into creating a new position with the city administrator, treasurer, as a resolution that would be on the table this evening.
I have one question or correction on there, where you come down under, item number 4, execution of documents. Says the mayor is authorized to sign the necessary documents for establishing the position and hiring a candidate. The council has to approve a hire. So I think we need to change the word hiring a candidate to recommending a candidate.
Okay, this is on number 3?
4.
Number 4, thank you.
Take out the word hiring and put recommending.
Recommendation.
Yeah. And I have the same concern on the, next one for the communication specialist also. On, 2566. Same spot.
Okay, and why is that? Because that's a part-time position. It's not an official with the city, that's just a part-time position.
Okay,
I got you.
as we mentioned last time, either it's gonna be a contract position or a part-time position. If it's a part-time position, they're on our payroll, meaning they'll come through and they get the actual, they don't have still, even part-time, don't have to get the benefits, but they're actual employee of the city. If they're a contract person, then they're not considered part-time. We're paying them a monthly salary to do X.
And the hours are irrelevant.
Exactly. So we need to decide what it's going to be, either part-time or contract.
Well, aren't some of the contract positions hourly as well, or will we set it up as a monthly position?
No. When I worked under contract, I get paid X amount per month.
Okay.
With benefits?
No,
No.
no benefits. Oh,
No,
either one
no
of them.
benefits, no social security, no nothing. I get a check for X amount per month. I'm responsible for all taxes and everything.
Okay.
You're a 1099 employee, not a
So
W-2
you'll get
employee.
a 1099 and be
Okay.
able to move from that point if you're a contract or part-time.
Okay, so we want this one to be enter into a contract with, is how we want it to say, enter into a contract with a part-time communication specialist.
Don't call it part-time.
Not part-time,
You're-
gotta move that word.
Part-time is not the right word. You're entering into a contract for a communication specialist.
specialist.
Thank you.
Is there a way for us to set that specialist has to, as a contractor, is there a way for us to set that they have to do so much work for the city? Or,
Well, in our position, there was a list of expected,
Outcomes.
Outcome.
right, right.
and so it doesn't matter, if they can do all that in 2 hours a month, good for them. If it takes them 200 hours a month, life's tough.
If they can do that in 2 hours a month, I wanna hire them.
Well, I was thinking we probably should make it a part-time position because of what you said earlier. We want somebody who can always keep us up to date. So if something happened tomorrow that's big news for the city, if that person says, I've done my work for this month, are we waiting till next month to get that in there?
Well, I'm not available.
Right, but if they're a part-time person, that means they're working 20 hours a week, with however many hours we decide that part-time is going to be. But that way, we know we got them to where they can do something for us every day.
That sounds like,
That's
a great
sounds like we need maybe a person in-house.
Right, that's what I'm
See,
saying,
what
a
you're saying.
I
part-time.
don't see the point of having somebody that has to come into the office.
No, he doesn't mean that, but.
Is that what you mean?
No, not, I mean, I'm talking about an in-house person, like somebody within City Hall. Like a
A current position
administrator.
employee,
What's that?
a current position employee.
Yeah, possibly.
No,
Yeah.
we don't, no. Nobody's gonna have time for that. With the city administrator being able to do his job, his or her job, and the clerk, and Pam, and Hunter, there's not enough room in the day for somebody who's already in-house to be doing this job.
Well, we can just particularly write the contract up as a contract person with specifications in it to make sure they cover things that we know we may or may not need on a monthly basis. So just keep them as a contract person and write it up with specifics.
Task.
I was about to say,
Right.
you can do a contract service agreement, so that way, in that contract service, you can put all the obligations of what you will need that individual to do upon those services, and then that contract will have all of that in there. And you wouldn't have to specify if it was part-time and or full-time or whatever, because it's a contract service.
Okay, so what we wanna see is, you want to approve the contract for the part-time communication specialist.
Right, we don't want to create a position. We want to contract for an individual to perform certain tasks.
Okay,
And the dollar amount was what on that? Is it 24,000? Is that what I've seen or heard?
yes,
Okay.
would be 2,000, yes, 2,000 a month,
Per month.
yes.
Is there a way we could hourly that instead of just saying a flat
No.
rate? You
No.
can hourly that?
No, you don't do that.
But if you control the hours, then they turn into employees.
Part-time.
Well, if you
You,
did,
you don't tell them they have to work hours. You tell them they have to perform tasks.
Duties.
And you also have to keep in mind with part-time work, you're gonna run into the thing, if they do anything over part-time, that's considered, something of extra hours, and then you run into the mere fact of having to make sure If they work over, then they can end up being a full-time employee, which could be a penalty that you would have to do because of the hours being over the 20 hours for part-time.
If
So
so
it's
much
easier
as-
for contract
Right.
services.
If so much as 1 month they work 30 hours, they are now eligible for all benefits.
Mhm.
Even if they were hired to work 20, if they work 30, they're now eligible for benefits because you allowed them to work if they're a part-time employee. If they're a contract employee, they're on their own.
Right, but you don't have to worry about taxes and.
Nothing.
Blah, 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 blah. Yes,
So, you know, we would send them a check for $2,000 a month, and as long as they were performing the task that we wanted done, then that's all that's required.
okay. So as I look at resolution 2566, what I'm wanting to do is create a new position as a contract for communication specialists,
Is it,
so that I can proceed with the hiring process, and then I would come back to you with the contract specifics.
I wouldn't say you're creating a new position, I would say that you are looking to contract for a communication specialist. Don't call it a position.
Okay,
You're not gonna create a position, but you're gonna contract for certain tasks. So be sure you put everything you even possibly think about that they might wanna do in the contract.
okay. So a resolution establishing a contract for a communication specialist.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Do you agree with the communication specialist paperwork that I sent you concerning what, we'll just need to change some of the wording?
They'll actually be responsible for making changes to the websites.
Correct.
Right, okay.
Mhm.
I would just ask that you ponder that real hard to make sure you got every possible task you want done plugged in there, and then at the end, the last key responsibility and other duties as other responsibilities as assigned, just in case you miss something.
I'm sorry.
So you'll need a catch-all for your bullet point, so any other duties deemed necessary by direct supervisor. Or you would not be direct supervisor, I would just say mayor/council or something of that nature.
Right.
So that'll cover all the areas.
Or any other duties as directed or whatever, but
And that'll be your catch-all.
Alrighty. So there's enough revision on that one, we need to table that?
yes.
And get your ducks in a row for that.
All right.
Going back to one more thing on 65, is this the, on number 2, the compensation plan? Isn't that something that's usually decided as a whole by the council?
Well, there is a step in pay that's set
Right.
up by the state that
Right.
this would fall under.
Okay. I just know when they set up the city manager position, they did, that was in that resolution, is they set that when they made the position.
Well, it says based on the qualifications of the candidate, so you're not gonna know until you start to hire somebody based on their qualifications.
So that's something that we look at as the council.
That would be part of her recommendation, I recommend.
Okay, for the
This
recommendation,
person
got
and
you,
this pay
okay,
rate.
at that pay raise, okay, great, okay, so,
Because, like, you know, you don't know until you're talking to the person.
right, got you.
And what options they'll bring, degrees offered in any of that.
Okay, so that one can go forward tonight?
Won't you take out, can you make the adjustment with hiring? Would you be able to do that with the recommendation?
Right here, what, I mean, as amended.
As amended, correct? You'll be good.
Okay, let's,
So we're just changing the word hiring to recommendation?
on 4.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so 67, 68, and 69 designate meeting times for the city council, the planning and zoning commission, and the board of zoning adjustments. Anything on that? That all look good?
It does, because you covered yourself otherwise noticed. You covered yourself otherwise noticed.
I would like to say that the Board of Zoning Adjustments is, we've still got a couple of spots on there. So if you know of anyone who would be interested in that, I would like to have that in place in case we get to a spot where that's needed, rather than having to scramble. So if you know anybody that would be interested in that.
How often does that meet? Once, twice a year?
They're scheduled to meet once a month, according to that paper, on Monday nights, if needed, but it says if needed. And so far, I don't know that anything's been needed,
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever had.
but the way things are moving these days, that's, who knows?
Yeah.
You could, but it would be very infrequent.
Okay, so the other one that we've got about 9 minutes to discuss is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract for web design services. If you looked over any of those proposals I sent you.
I like the Plexa Media,
Mm-hmm.
that one appeared,
Plex Media had more to offer, being from, they had some of the examples from other zona areas. That was the last one that you sent.
Mm-hmm.
So that one was, they showed with Gaston, that did show nice.
Okay,
if I'm not confused, Plexa Media was the one that had already did like Vestavia and a couple others, that they were already doing cities, so they were
Entities.
accustomed to needs of municipalities instead of businesses, and, you know, we're kind of a unique niche. We're not trying to sell anything, we're trying to inform.
right. Okay. Anybody else?
I know that we spoke about this, but possibly getting our IT guy to tell us what we need, since.
He was not in the office today
Okay.
and will not be back until Thursday.
Okay, that's,
I liked the other one. And he kind of explained why, the difference between WordPress, which is something that's a little bit older than the Sanity, which is newer.
Is that the one from Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Okay.
I like.
Investment?
Yes.
Okay.
I liked that he was, that it's a city-owned, all of it, the repository for the GitHub. Let's see, what else has he got in here? It's more of the newer technology of a web, for building a website than.
WordPress
than
is, kinda dated.
Exactly. And so if we're doing something new, why go with the dated technology versus the newer thing that's probably gonna continue to update?
So that was 2 quotes, correct?
That was 2 quotes, yes.
And
Well,
I
I
have
sent,
one more that's forthcoming.
I thought I sent you the third one. I just didn't feel like she had, that one had enough experience for what we needed, because they had no municipal experience. And I agree with you, Jody, that you need somebody, but I know that he's worked with the state of Alabama and with the,
He's the one that did the tourism.
yes, and I'm trying to think, he worked with the Greater, help me remember the name of it, Greater Birmingham
This is,
DDC, PNC. I think that's the name of it.
Yes,
You know what I'm talking about?
no, but that's the one.
Greater Birmingham.
That's a private business.
Convention and Visitors Bureau?
No.
No, that's a private business.
Oh, is it?
EBVHA, it's a karate judo place.
No, this was that was,
Is that a different
that's
one?
the one that was, I didn't feel like that had enough experience for what we needed.
They've all done commercial work.
RPC, Greater Birmingham Regional Planning Commission, that's what I'm trying to remember.
RPC,
Yeah,
okay.
he worked with that. So that is,
What's the different price points? Two of them were very close together price wise.
Prices.
his was definitely the most expensive.
Mhm.
But you get what you pay for. And we're not looking for this is not a bid deal. We're not looking for the cheapest. We're looking for the quality. Because that's what we're gonna need in the long run. I liked that, the training would be offered, the way that you could put it in. He explained the process on that last page. That it would be easy to train more than one person to do it. Let's see, under the question, what are modular content blocks? And he just says, you can drop in a photo carousel, which means a couple of pictures, add the amenity list box, attach the rules to the PDF, and you're done. Faster than WordPress, way more flexible because the blocks are designed specifically for municipal content.
Is it a yearly contract?
No, we would own it.
We own
We
it.
would own it. It would be ours. We would not.
Would that pay for, would pay for support?
We pay one time.
One time?
It would be on Amazon Web Services, under the city-owned account, under GitHub, owned by the city. And he would offer the training, and for the first year, it says that he would help maintain it. And then after that, it would be maintained by our comms contractor.
Okay.
And has he given, and I haven't asked this yet, but has he given any of the pricing information of what the Amazon Web Service, I don't know what their costs are, monthly cost
I
for
don't know.
storage and hosting, so.
I don't know. I know that's a pretty, standard.
No,
There's-
right, yeah.
But no, I don't know what the details of that would be.
Because wasn't one of the quotes, didn't they say hosted on our server that we have here? I'm not sure which quote that was, I
think that was they were checking to see if that was a possibility.
Okay.
My only hesitation with not entering into a contract, and I don't wanna rush you because we need to make informed decisions, is that we don't meet again until the second week of January, and that kicks the can down the road a bit for us, so.
What was it different? It wasn't how much of a difference was it for the one from,
Fleximedia?
Fleximedia?
His was about 8, I
8,
think,
okay.
and this one was about, it was 14.
14.5.
14.
So, yeah, it's almost double, almost double.
That's a big difference.
It is,
And
and,
I've seen them building, it doesn't really cost that much to get it done.
okay, well, we can continue to look for bids. I mean, we can continue to ask for
I think we
proposals.
need to continue, but that will happen.
For the web design?
Okay, and the last one we're just gonna hit on really briefly is, authorizes the mayor to renew the contract with the herbicide applicator. This is the person, in the past who has been working, diligently to eliminate the kudzu off the disc golf course. I have asked him, to not do anything for Cosby right now. So he did not give me a bid. This bid, that you see, this contract for 16.5 is for the disc golf, and sports complex. And he and I are gonna discuss Cosby later. We did have a meeting yesterday to discuss it a bit. And then I told him that it's possible that we might need his services on the DYS property because there's quite a bit of kudzu there. And we probably need to start some eradication there, but that would be a different contract besides just this one. This one is just for the disc golf and sports complex.
I got it.
Only question I have, is this amount within the same range as it was last year?
It is an increase of $2,500 over 25 pricing, and that is because his received quotes from his herbicide supplier
Yep.
has increased the herbicide products used for the sale.
I can vouch for him too. He's my next door neighbor, and I go over there and look at his process. So believe me, this guy, he's worked with the state.
Yes,
He's done
Aldott for
state
years.
work, state
Mhm.
right away, so he is very experienced, knows what he's doing, and I highly recommend that.
And the gentleman that treats my yard has already told me that his costs are jumping up significantly, and my price next year will be $1 or 10 higher.
$1.10 hour.
And this is the group that's been doing it for some time, correct?
And it's the
Yes,
same set.
this is, yes,
Yeah.
Hey, but I don't
Okay.
have weeds, and that was the purpose.
there we go.
Very good. We went to that one.
All righty.
Mayor,
Yes, dear,
um,
sorry.
as a housekeeping matter, between Pledge of Allegiance and roll call, there needs to be another motion to appoint a special city clerk for the purpose of taking the minutes of this meeting and attesting or certifying any resolutions passed.
Can we not have a motion just to temporarily appoint her, like, to do that, or do we have to do that every meeting?
I think it's every week.
Yes, every
to get something settled.
Well, I mean, the thought is that at some point there will be a city clerk whose
To
job
step in.
is, yeah, to step in, so.
Okay.
This is just a temporary measure until such time as that person
That's good.
takes office.
All right. Here we go. We're gonna call this meeting to order. Mr. Harris, would you like to pray us in?
I will. Father, thank you for letting us come here tonight as we end our year with the city of Clay. Bless all of our citizens that are here and encourage them as they help us make good decisions. Guide the council as we work through our agenda tonight, that we do is what is best for our city. In Christ's name I pray, amen. Please stand for the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay,
I make a motion to appoint Christie as a special clerk to take minutes and take notes and prepare the minutes for this meeting.
Second.
all in favor?
Voice vote is fine.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes of the pre-council and
Gotta do a
regular.
roll call.
Oh. That's you, isn't
Yes,
it?
me, Mayor Anderson. Oh, do I need this?
Here.
Do I need this?
Yes.
Mayor Anderson is here. Jody Harris.
Here.
Chris Nail.
Here.
Orletta Rush.
Here.
Nathan Thompson.
Here.
Carly Youngblood.
Here.
Now I'll make a motion. No, I'll accept a motion, excuse me, to approve the minutes of the pre-council and regular council minutes from December 9th, 2025.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting agenda.
So moved, Mayor.
Were we gonna take off 2025-70?
Yes.
Okay.
Was there another one? Did we have to-
66.
66? Yeah.
66 is off of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 66. 70.
And so-
I make a motion that Approve the meeting agenda, removing resolution 2025-66 and 2025-70.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. And then I'll accept a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Roll call.
Roll call, because it's funny. I'm getting there.
You're getting there. Mayor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes,
Counselor Nail,
Yes.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Counselor Thompson,
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood.
Yes.
All right. Committee reports. The seniors' Christmas party is coming up this Friday from 9 to 1. If you qualify, please join us. I'm sure it will be fun. And I want to say a big thanks to Alexis Davis for all of her hard work organizing and executing the Christmas parade. Mr. Harris?
all right. First, there'll be a planning and zoning meeting Thursday night here at 6 p.m. The only public safety issue, the fire district last week bought a new fire truck. It will be making an appearance probably the first week of January. We bought it from E1 in Ocala, Florida for about $770,000. There's a few things a couple of little things they have to do, and install radios and things like that. So we should have it in service within the fire district. It is going to the station on Centerpoint Road. And that's all I have tonight.
Mr. Neal?
Okay, I have visited a couple of schools. I went by and saw Mr. Wilson about his grants. So he's gonna get me some started up. So I will have those grants presented in our January meeting, our first of our January meeting. So let's see, so that's what I've done with this school so far there. And I guess while it's my time, we're just gonna bring up have we had any resolution with the hunter that was accessing our property? Have we talked with him, spoke with him?
I did speak with him. Mr. Bearden? What did we determine?
Well, I mean, it is kind of an issue of which way the council wants to go. If you allow individuals who have legal rights to contiguous property, if that's the measuring stick, then you don't have to open it up to the general public. The liability issues can be handled contractually with written permission and waiver of liability and all of those things. I think there have been articulated some benefits to the city to having this person or others use the property for ingress and egress to kind of keep an eye on the property. But the issues raised in the last meeting can be handled, it seems to me, contractually, if that is what the council wants to do. If the council doesn't want to do that, then any license or permission that has been granted would need to be rescinded.
I would not be in favor of giving anyone permission to access the property, because once you do one, then how are you gonna pick and choose who gets on and who doesn't?
Exactly.
I would feel safer until it is
Safe.
Feel safe.
safe and the city has a plan and has cleaned it up so we know that it's safe and we have supervision down there that it is closed to the public.
And if we find out that with the contract that we did with the state, are we violating anything? Cause it was something in there pertaining to third party in the, usage of a third party, so that I don't wanna put the city, any of us in that type of liability as well, so I just.
I took a look at the
Okay.
lease, there's, I saw no prohibition against allowing, individuals, to use the property for ingress and egress to other pieces of property. We're not subletting, we're not doing, anything, granting a legal interest in the property that would be prohibited by the lease without permission, or authorization from the landlord. So what we're talking about is just ingress and egress, and that, that's going to be the same, if the property is developed with the general public, in accessing, the property, so I don't see a problem there.
Well, there's much closer places that, I've looked at the tax assessor site, and there's much closer places that he could access instead of going over, it's on the back side of the property, instead of going across 540 acres. Now, he would have to work with one of those, property owners to get across their property, obviously, but I think it's a lot closer, there's a couple of lots that are like 100 feet deep that are not developed, that he could probably approach that person and say, hey, I want to get access to the property, but I feel like everybody else, I don't think we need to have anybody, whether he's hunting or not hunting out there, just the
So
liability.
is
of him being
everybody in
forward.
agreement on that?
Yes.
Okay. I will have that conversation with him.
Yes.
Okay, so, anything else, Mr. Knapp?
That's all I had, thank you.
Dr. Rush?
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming out. Just some updates with our library. We did not have our library normal meeting. We are looking, I spoke with the mayor today, that we're gonna be looking to doing that on a quarterly basis. Therefore, we will have those quarterly meetings with our committee, and then, from month to month, we will be able to, have that correspondence where it's written, and now the mayor and myself will be able to speak with the committee. So we'll be looking to get that as a resolution in the, January meeting, and then that way we'll move forward with that. Other than that, everything, has been working well with the library. We've had a lot of adventures with the library. They had a beautiful float in the Christmas parade. So I see a lot of good things that we're bringing into the area when it comes to the library and the offers that we'll be able to give to the public.
All right. Mr. Thompson?
Alrighty, so as Hunter said, great news, looks like the road's gonna be on track. They were actually working on it Saturday and Sunday this weekend, and talked to one of the guys on site, and he said, we look like we're, on track to do some things. He said we might be paving Wednesday. The good news is they started paving today. So he said, if I'm not paving Tuesday and you go tell the counselor, he said, I'm gonna deny it. And I said, well, they got asphalt going down, so that's a great sign. Also, Mary Anderton and, Carla Youngblood and I attended the UAB Ready to Lead from day one. I think we got some good information from going to that and made some new connections there. I gave y'all the report as far as the mower update that you asked me to do. Y'all have that in front of you, so we'll make the decision what to do with those. And just excited again to see everybody here tonight. Great that we got a big crowd once again, and hopefully when Old Spring Road gets back open, we can have some more business in Clay. So
There we go. All right, Ms. Youngblood?
Good evening, everybody. As I told you, I'm looking forward to bringing some cultural activities to the city of Clay. Again, I want to just ditto what she said. Thank you, Alexis, for the great parade, and I'm looking forward to having a lot more things. I think back what you did with the parade, what Monica did with the Veterans Day event, and so I'm looking to doing some of those things, but before I can start putting more things in place, I need to do a true analysis of the finance and the budget. And so one of the things that I'm asking the mayor to do is host a finance workshop, so I can have some discussions with the actual council about the budget and things that are taking place. And
Okay.
that way I can clearly see what's available to bring some more activities to the city.
All right. You want to throw out a date or two that we might consider?
And I'm sorry, council, but I'd like to try to get this done before the end of the year. I know it's during the holidays, if anybody have any time on the 29th or the 30th that evening, which is next Monday or Tuesday, that's tight. You're out of town. We may have to push it to January.
I'm available, 29th or 30th, either, whichever works with you.
I could do the 30th, but I can't do the 29th.
I can do the 30th.
Nathan, can you do the 30th?
What time of day? We're talking,
Our standard time around 5, 6.
okay.
I can probably do 6. I don't think I can do 5 on the 30th.
Do 6 o'clock, that's good with everybody.
I won't be, I can do supper.
How long do you expect?
A good hour, if that long.
Okay,
Because I'm coming, I got specifics that I want to discuss
okay,
and questions that I just put before you.
okay. I can do 6. I may have to leave slightly before 7, but I can at
Oh,
least
that's
catch,
fine, no.
I can at least catch some of it.
At
so.
least 1 hour.
Okay.
That's the minimum, I mean the max.
Okay,
The
okay.
max is 1
So
hour.
we're talking December the 30th, 6 o'clock.
December 30th,
Downstairs.
6 o'clock downstairs.
Put that in my calendar right this minute. All righty. Let's see, we have no reading of petitions, public hearings, and I have Miss Monica Robinson for a public comment.
Good afternoon. Okay, I'm Monica Robinson. I live at 5718.
We're doing.
You don't have to give your
I was
address.
just wondering just to throw your address on.
You got it up here.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Right, because we're recording.
God,
We
That's
don't
why I'm
want
over
it,
just
we
to
don't
throw
want
it
it
on.
on the interwebs.
Oh, true that, because I don't need nobody coming visiting me.
Right.
That would hurt you cooking nice dinner tomorrow night.
Oh, no, I'm celebrating my birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Again?
Yeah, well, no, that was, we came for his birthday. That's why he drug me to my birthday, or I wouldn't be here. But anyway, I'm sorry, I would be here. But anyway, my questions, I have two, but I have one other comment that I thought about after you guys were talking. But anyway, the first question is regarding grants or funding to support neighborhoods. I know you have grants for schools and stuff to that effect, and you deal with economic growth. But the current communities that are living here, we have things that we need help with. And I'm not sure, 100% sure about how to go about getting that additional support without constantly going up on HOA fees, which is beginning to be hard on a lot of folks. In my community, we are not as large as Steeplechase. We only have 66 members within our community, and we're currently now at $300 annually. We started at $140 just prior to me moving there, and then it went to $175, and then it's been creeping up to $225 and on up. So it's like things like we have a walking trail by our lake, and we have the lone tennis court that everybody sees when they go down Clay Palmdale that could be resurfaced or used, not just for our neighborhood, but anybody that would wanna have, to use it or turn it into a multi-purpose court or something to that effect. Or even if it's just, if the city says, no, we can't do that, if I can just get, information of contractors or whoever that can assist us to make those improvements that also deal with safety, and stuff to that effect. So, I'm looking for how we as a whole can improve, the neighborhoods that currently exist, not the future.
Right. So one thing as far as public use of funds, the city really can't, it has to have a majority public benefit. The city can't actually go in and maybe Mr. Bearden can elaborate a little bit more of that, but we can't go in and give a grant to a certain community, a certain neighborhood within the community. It's just not something that can legally be done. Am I correct?
Yeah, Councilman Nail and I were just talking about that. There has to be a public use to spend public funds, and is not permitted to use public funds to benefit private citizens or private individuals. One example would be the city is not permitted to go and pave Councilman Nail's driveway because that's bestowing a benefit to an individual without a public purpose. So, it would depend on what the proposal is and whether or not an articulable public purpose, existed as to whether or not city money could be expended that way.
Right, even if it's something of how to go about doing community block grants, which is paid for out of a different pot of money from a different source, whether it's state level or something, but it still benefits. And even if we could change language where it benefits the entire city for the walking trail or for the use of that tennis court, I'm amenable to anything. I am the HOA president for our neighborhood, and we're just trying to, one, manage cost, because we do have an older population who are on limited incomes, and still keep the city beautiful. Because for the most part, you don't have, the city is made up of HOAs. It is not, just, the public, areas that need to be, continue to be beautified.
Okay.
So let me move on to the next one, which is the HOA listing in future meetings. I brought it up in previous meetings in the past, because there are some lessons that can be learned that I shouldn't have to learn or relearn or, what have you, that there can be some information sharing between the different communities that
Okay.
are within the Clay community. And then having possibly future meetings for those leaders of those HOAs with.
Okay, let's
you.
let's look into that in this coming
Mhm.
year.
Okay, that works for me, just
Thank you.
putting it out there in the atmosphere. And the last thing, is most of you know I came from the Huntsville, Madison community. And so I had a few friends who attended what they have is the Madison Civilian Civics Academy. And it kind of teaches you about how city government municipalities work. Is there something like that within Jefferson County?
Yes, Irondale has done that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the, it's on my list of goals
Okay.
for this next year, to get with him, see how we can implement that, include that in something that we would do with some of our students, as well as any other citizens who would want to participate. And they'd get a certificate at the end that would kind of show that they have been through the process of civic government. So
Right.
yes, it's on my list.
Okay, that was it, because that's the big thing, an informed electorate.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Martha.
All right, so that moves us into unanimous consent.
That was on the public comment?
I'm sorry?
I
Yes, that
saw,
was-
I saw the stack up there, I was just making sure
No.
that, okay,
This is the table.
okay.
Paper everywhere. Okay, so do I have a motion to enter into unanimous consent?
So moved there.
Second.
Okay,
Roll call, right?
no, we don't.
You don't-
We don't have to roll call every one of them.
The only thing that a roll call vote is absolutely required for is the appointment of officers.
Okay?
But lots of municipalities do it just as a matter of course. It's just whatever the council prefers.
Well, I would prefer it a different way, so we're gonna try something. Do we all agree on resolution 2562, which is a resolution that declares city property a surplus? You can just say yes.
I don't think that.
I don't think we can.
Yeah, I would put each resolution to a vote, Mayor.
Yeah.
You might have a vote for each one.
not necessarily a roll call vote, but certainly a vote.
Okay. So what's the words for that?
And don't we have to propose the resolution before we vote on it? Or am I mistaken on that?
There needs to be a motion to adopt the resolution.
Okay, that's what
So I have to have a motion to adopt Resolution 2562.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
No, is that roll call?
It doesn't have to be, but whatever you want to do.
That's the point of unanimous consent.
I would prefer a roll call vote.
Okay.
What do you, I mean, y'all tell me.
I think we could just all say aye if we agree, and all opposed would be the nay.
Are we gonna put this up on the auction site? Or are we gonna just dispose of? Are we just right now declaring that we're gonna declare
We're
this
just
surplus?
declaring it a surplus, that's all we're gonna
And
do.
then we'll figure out how we're
How
gonna
we're gonna do it.
dispose of it.
Correct.
Okay.
So all in favor of that resolution passing, say aye.
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
No opposition? All right, so then we have Resolution 2564, which is a resolution repealing Resolution 2012-34, and I will ask for a roll call vote on this one. Do I have a motion to repeal that resolution?
So moved.
And a second?
Yes.
This is the resolution repealing Resolution 2434 concerning this city manager position. Do I have a motion?
We have a motion from Carly.
Do I have a second? Roll call.
There's not a
Do
motion
I
on
not
the
have
board.
a second?
Yeah.
You gotta have a second.
Explain what it is.
Explain what it is. Now I gotta go find it. It's a resolution regarding the city manager position. That said it would be resolved that the city council, while in regular session on this day, would repeal, rescind, and declare to be of no further force or effect all resolutions adopted pursuant to 2012-34 are hereby repealed in their entirety. The resolution shall take effect upon the passage, adoption, and approval as otherwise provided by law.
Explain what it is.
It eliminates the city manager position and allows me to hire a city administrator. Because currently, I'm functioning as the mayor and the city administrator. And my assistant clerk is functioning as the assistant clerk and the clerk.
So Mayor, you can't do a new position unless you do away with this position.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Because those two things are so similar
Mhm.
but different that I don't need both of those on my books as positions available in this city.
And the answer would be, that would be ideal, but I don't know that it's absolutely necessary.
But you
Okay,
could
so
have both
can
of
you-
them on
can
your
you
book and you
let
don't
us
have
all-
anybody.
Can you let us all know that?
If there's no second, there's no discussion, there's nothing.
Sure.
If she doesn't get a second, that motion is dead.
Okay.
All right, do I have a motion for Resolution 2565, a resolution creating a new position of City Administrator Treasurer.
So moved, Mayor.
I'd like to amend that to make sure it's moved with the word, highway being replaced with recommendation. I second that motion.
Thank you. Roll call?
Before we vote, we'd like to discuss it. So, and I just asked Mr. Beard.
I think it would be cleaner to repeal Resolution 2012-34 and create the new position of city administrator. Although it might be cleaner, I don't think it's absolutely necessary since the city manager position is vacant.
You can just leave that position vacant without abolishing that position.
Right.
Yes.
So if at some point in the future you wanted to place a person there, the position is there.
Yes, that
Yes.
would be, I'm sorry. That would be my opinion, yes.
So do that.
I didn't have any further discussion about it. That was the
All
only
right,
question. I
so
wanted
are
to
we
make sure
ready
they
for a
could-
roll call vote?
Ready? Mayor Anderton,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes,
Counselor Nail,
No.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Counselor Thompson. Counselor Thompson,
No.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Passes 4-2. Do I have a motion for Resolution 2567 for the meeting times for the City Council of 2026?
So moved, Mayor. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Resolution 2568, designating meeting times for Planning and Zoning Commission of 2026.
so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2569, designating meeting times for the Board of Zoning Adjustments 2026.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Resolution 2571, a resolution authorizing the mayor to renew the contract with the herbicide.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This ends unanimous consent.
I have a question remaining from the last meeting. The payment to the Boys and Girls Club, we did not approve that check. Where are we with that? Has that check been reclaimed?
No. It has not.
What steps should we take when the council has not approved payment of that check?
Answer this.
The council did approve payment of, the previous council approved payment of that check.
Yeah, but this council did not approve it.
And I may be speaking out of turn, and Mayor, if I am, I apologize. I have, in fact, Councilman Thompson and I have kind of been trying to reconstruct the history of this issue. We have not yet, I don't think, reached the end of that investigation as to exactly how we got where we are. We've got some conflicting positions being taken, and we're investigating, looking into some other issues to determine what the best course of action is with regard to that check.
Okay, thank you. Can I make a suggestion then to make me feel better? I would suggest that in the future, no checks be distributed until after the council approves the check register in that council meeting. We don't need to be approving checks that have already gone out. We need to be approving checks before they are released.
And I think what I would say about that is, if it has already been budgeted, then the council has already approved it. And the check register, by and large, is for informational purposes for the council. In fact, some municipalities, have an informational section at the bottom of the agenda that just says, hey, for extraordinary or sort of out of the ordinary expenditures, even though they are in the budget, just to keep the council apprised. I don't think it's necessary for the council to approve what they've already approved by agreeing to budgeted items.
Okay.
Would Christmas bonuses be in that, what we approve? Would that be what you're talking about?
Well, I mean,
Because that's approved
They were in the
first
budget
of the year.
previously.
Right,
The
right.
amended,
That's what I think
yes,
they're in the
the
budget.
income amended
Right.
checks were in the budget. Yes, that's correct.
Well, I think the only thing that would coincide with what Jody is saying is, unfortunately, we didn't approve the budget. So, in detail, Jody don't know exactly what's in the budget. Nathan don't know everything that's in the budget, and he got appointed close to the end, so
Right.
he didn't know what's actually in the budget. So I think that's what we're saying, that we don't know exactly what's in the budget. So we can say it's a budgeted item. So was the 5,000 budgeted or not? That would be the question.
well, that would be, I think, a different question, because there was specific authorization by the previous council as to that specific expenditure.
Correct.
And that's sort of a separate issue from whether something appears in the budget under which the previous council was operating. That would be an extraordinary expense, I think, not having seen the previous budget. And I would say this, that anything that is not budgeted should certainly come before the council and be approved by the council before that money is spent. But the day-to-day, the power bill, the things that we know that we have to pay, there's no requirement or need for council to approve those checks prior to them being issued.
I know they had in the past, but the day-to-day, yeah, absolutely.
And we're kind of speaking in generalities.
Right, sure.
And not specifics, but that is sort of the overarching kind of understanding of what we need to do and what we don't need to do because it's already been done. So I'll stop there unless somebody has a question.
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
All right. Then I can make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
We'll have a vote on that.
And I don't know. Y'all may.